Hey YouTube, it's the Morning Brew. Good day to y'all. Happy Wednesday, happy Monday, happy hump day. Happy yada yada. Oh, so 2 videos done. Comic-Con specials, I guess. Gonna work on the good, the bad, and the ugly. Gonna get to that Girl Meets World episode eventually. Hopefully before the next one airs. Happy to say that one of my videos today, or yesterday, well, as of today it's a lot higher, but as of officially yesterday, broke 100,000 views. Granted, it's a Assassin's Creed Unity demo, and that would, a lot of people are going to say, well, duh, it's something people want to watch. Yeah, that's cool. I don't care. Watch it all you want. It still broke 100,000 views on my channel. And it's given me 48 new subscribers and counting, and I love it. I don't care what anybody else wants to, how people want to put it down. I'm happy about that. It's just unexpected, and I love it. I hope that it translates into more views for these videos and so on and so forth. And well, cheers. A lot of stuff coming out of Comic-Con, news about industry, entertainment, comics, and all that stuff, and other news that I quite frankly, tragedies during the con and after the con that I really don't, I'm not going to touch base on. I feel like this is not that kind of show, and so we're going to move on. On a personal level, I will say that sometimes if you when something happens, people need to look at things a little bit more logical and less emotional, and maybe try and take a step back and not have the have your heart in the sleeve waiting to punch the bad guy until they're proven to be the bad guy. But enough of that. That's really not, like I said, that's not really what the show's about, and I don't want to get into stuff like that because it just pisses people off, and it pisses me off a little bit. Funko wall looking pretty. Oh, Sharknado. Oh gosh, that's the first story of the day. But I haven't had time to play any video games this week, and it's kind of weird. Because, I still have my Wii U still pretty new. It's up slightly over a month old now. It's going to be a month old. And I've spent the last week or so without playing it because of Comic-Con. And so it's kind of weird. It's an awkward feeling to not have the energy. I'm on day 3 post-con. I'm still recovering energy-wise. My house still feels like a freaking sauna, and the heat ain't helping, and there's so much to do. So with that, if it feels like I'm on a low level energy today, I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to. It just really, when you've been in a con for 4 days, it takes it out of you. Regardless of having a hotel nearby or having to walk in 6 blocks to get to your car, it drains you. It drains you on so many different levels. Being around so many people, especially by Sunday when everybody's emotionally drained, physically drained, and financially drained. It's pretty bad. Speaking of financially drained, really quick, you guys, unless you've been to Comic-Con, you may or may have not heard of these people. Mile High Comics has been going to Comic-Con, I think, almost from the beginning. They take up a 7-booth space against the wall. And when they say Mile High Comics, it's a pretty nice setup. They've been around forever. They're an icon of Comic-Con. They are people that you always see at con if you've been going long enough. Made the announcement yesterday morning that unfortunately this was their last Comic-Con. Having faced a loss of $10,000 in revenue. They can no longer afford to make it. Now, other people can argue that it's, well, it's the comic book industry, it's all suffering. Nah. he explained pretty well what happened. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the gentleman at this moment because I didn't make a note of it because I wasn't planning on talking about it, but I should. He explained in his newsletter that while they can go to Denver Comic Con and bring in a pretty nifty profit post travel expenses and then some, they can come to San Diego Comic Con, a venue that's 3 times the size with 3 times the attendees, and somehow lose $10,000 in revenue. When he was approached by one of the major comic book companies' CEOs, who was boasting about, oh, we're doing great in sales with those variant covers, and was quickly told how they were losing money because people are spending all their money on their variant covers and their exclusives, and by the time they get to Mile High Comics, they're broke. Their budget is entirely wasted on them, on the corporate, booths, and it's true. It's very true. Quite a few companies, especially comic book companies, offer up some pretty nifty exclusives that I showed you in previous videos. And unfortunately, the smaller guys can't get their hands on those at a reasonable price. They have to buy them in retail costs like we do. So when, let's say a perfect example. Marvel had a Rocket Raccoon #1 variant cover. Okay, stay with me here. There's already been one released. Nerd Block got, Loot Crate, I believe, got a variant cover. Comic-Con got a variant cover. Well, Mile High Comics had the regular cover. The one you can just go to any comic shop and buy at the same price. Well, what do you think is going to happen when Marvel shows up with, enough books to cover the entire con? Well, people are going to go buy that one and leave Mile High Comics dry. High and dry. But it's a sad truth. I mean, personally, a lot of stuff I bought, with a few exceptions, were mostly corporate stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, honestly, I support the smaller companies a lot more often. Quite a few of the shirts I bought were actually from Shirt Labs, who I hopefully will have some updates coming up from them. I went to Artist Alley and bought quite a few artist prints versus buying, name brand, quote unquote, name brand posters and such. And a lot of the stuff I have is independently created by other people, not by companies. A lot of times I prefer that. Now Funko, well, there's a whole slew of stuff going on with them. A lot of unhappy fans with Funko at this Comic-Con. Mostly because they're starting to turn into the Hasbro of Comic-Con, even though the Comic-Con still has a Hasbro of Comic-Con. Mostly having to do with closing their booth by 11 o'clock because they run out of merchandise. Or not running out of merchandise, but they close their booth for a signing, reopening at 1. But then you see, if you go to my Facebook page, there's a picture of a guy who went to Funko, bought a sack full of Funkos. And I mean, Funko sells one of those bags that you could probably fit about 5 up and 5 across. Double, maybe triple the width of Funkos in one bag. Yeah, sounds about right. Maybe 4 across. Maybe 4 up and 4 across. You get my point. You can get a lot of Funkos in that bag. Well, as I was walking on Friday, I'm walking towards Funko trying to see if I can get in line. This guy comes out of the line with his huge sack, stops 20 feet from the booth, and goes, "Hey, anybody want to buy some of the exclusive Funkos? Straight off the presses, blah, 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 all that crap." I'm not kidding when I say I caught a picture of him pulling them out as people are looking at him. And how much do you want for this? Well, I won't cost you 15, give me 20. I'll give you a 30, give me 20. And of course Funko didn't catch this. But then you go to the other vendors and they've got tons of those Funkos, the Elsas and the Olafs and Ghostbusters, and they're asking for $50, $75 a piece when they're $15 at the booth. But unfortunately it's a 2-hour wait and hopes that you can get into the booth because they'll randomly close it out when they've run out of that day's stock. That'll be part of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So Mile High Comics, unfortunately, won't be around anymore at Comic-Con, but you can still visit them. You can still see them at other cons. And we'll get into more details for that as well, for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's get started with the stories, because we're already eating up 10 minutes of this. Sharknado 2, the second one. coming out tomorrow on Sci-Fi. We have our stars coming back, Tara Reid and I always forget how to pronounce his name, but Ian Ziering. I think that's about right. Both coming back, still acting as the same divorced couple, now 1 year later, touring the book of the events of the original Sharknado as written by Tara Reid. His character, who I don't remember her name, so I didn't care. But I love the movie. We got a signed poster by the director. Their second one, literally the second one, is going to be based out of New York. And apparently the Sharknado is so strong this time that the Statue of Liberty gets beheaded. And you see it rolling down Main Street. I'm looking forward to this shit. Sorry. I got a little excited about that one. I actually really am looking forward to it. The funny thing is, there's going to be a slew of celebrities that decided to sign up and show up at this movie. Including, and not limited to, and I'll have to read this, Kelly Osbourne, Andy Dick, Billy Ray Cyrus, Al Roker, Matt Lauer, and so many, many more. Including wrestler Kurt Angle. Now, I hate to say it this way, but I somehow hope that a lot of these cameos mean a lot of celebrity deaths. Not that I would wish any ill will on any of them, but you know what I mean. Like, you kind of chuckle when you see a guy in a Mickey Mouse outfit fall on his ass. You laugh when you see someone fall on their ass, period. But it's even funnier when they're in a costume. So all I'm saying is, I wish no ill will on any celebrity, including Nicki Minaj. But I'm just saying, if a shark happens to chop her in half in Sharknado 2, I'll chuckle a little bit. On a very, hey, that's pretty funny, I'm glad she's okay, but it's still freaking funny. So, look forward to Sharknado 2, the second one, airing tomorrow on Sci-Fi, primetime, 9 o'clock. I love my Sharknado Funko. I really do. I can't wait for the second one. I want to see another Sharknado Funko come out for that. Maybe this time they put the Statue of Liberty crown on the shark. Funko, you owe me one if you use that idea. Anyways, moving on. The Simpsons Guy trailer was premiered at Comic-Con. It even premiered with a fan question by a very particular fan that was very interesting to have. During the panel, Matt Groening got up and asked a fan question. Of course, the cast and writers and everybody else, including Seth MacFarlane, joked around about it and played along. But the trailer features some interesting facts about the upcoming episode on September 28th. You got Bart teaching Stewie how to prank Colmo. You have Homer and Peter becoming instant best friends because, the two dumbest guys on primetime have to be best buddies. It just happens. We also have Peter teaching Homer how to cut off into a flashback sequence. And this is where it gets hilarious to me. During the flashback sequence, you have Peter and Homer flying a World War II plane and fighting off the Nazis or whatever it is they're doing. And in the very tail end is Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers saying, "Yay, we got him, guys." And it's like, oh, who the hell is that? We have to carry him. He can't do it by himself. Oh, yeah. We did it too with the black guy. That's what he says. Don't blame me or call me a racist, because that's not what. That's what he says. Oh. So anyways. The trailer shows off some of the pieces of the Peter-Homer fight. Much like the Peter and the chicken fights we used to have back in the day. They stopped doing those after the time travel episode, I think. But I haven't seen a Peter chicken fight in a while. I think it's been a season or two. So this will be an interesting one because it includes it's in Springfield. So you have a lot of the iconic Springfield monuments and such being involved in the fight. Kratos and Kronos or whatever his name. Whatever the aliens, I forget the names, are in The Simpsons, they're involved in a certain way. Great stuff. Check out the trailer. It should be playing here. If not, just go Google it. It's not that hard to find. But it did premiere Comic-Con. I think it's funny that the day it premiered, guess what I did? Instead of standing in line for Hall H and missing out on the Matt Groening experience, which you can now find on YouTube, I managed to come home, kick off my shoes, pour myself a cup, turn on my computer, and watch it from the comfort of my own home with some popcorn. As well as everything else that came out on Hall H. I'm talking Loki clips. That's all I'm going to say. Is that you don't always have to be in Hall H to experience Comic-Con all the way. Last story of the day. This is an interesting one, and it might get controversial, but I'll make it quick. Paramount deleted the Australian Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles poster for the movie that's coming out on September 11th in Australia. We get it August 8th, they get it a month and 3 days later on September 11th. The reason it got deleted, and the image should be here, it should be kind of obvious right away, is they're jumping from the top of a building that's exploding. But that's not the only thing. It's got the word September 11th at the bottom. So it sparked a big, huge amount of 9/11 controversy. I'd hate to be that PR guy. So yeah, Paramount quickly deleted it, but that doesn't mean that nobody caught it. Like me. I caught it. Sorry, Paramount. So with that, all I have to say is, when we get so sensitive about things like 9/11, tragedy, I know it, I understand the capacity and loss that we suffered. The emotional tearing it caused. I get all of it. I was there. I'm not there, but I was around. I was living here already. I was already calling this country my home when this happened. But the thing is that this is what the terrorists wanted. For us to always be hurt by the reminder of 9/11. Hence 9/11. The towers look like an 11. Our emergency number is 911. 9/11. Just keep in mind that, yeah, I get why people are upset. But when we get upset like this, terrorists did their job. They've made us fear and suffer every time we go through this. So, once again, I'm not condoning anything. I'm just saying, it's not a big deal to see the poster. I will say the old Spider-Man poster of him tying up a helicopter between the two towers, totally understand that, because that came out a week before 9/11. Totally understand that one. This one, it's been over a decade. Most kids don't, elementary school kids can have any emotional attachment. And that's their aimed audience usually. It's Nickelodeon. So, that's all I'm going to say on it. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me and thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I try to keep these shows a little shorter. But things happen. Oh well. I wasn't feeling too good, so I wasn't even going to record. But hey, I still did it. So with that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the views. We're celebrating over 100,000 views on the channel. Let's hope for another 100,000 more. And maybe get over 100,000 subscribers soon. Someday. Maybe this year. Probably not going to happen. But if you spread the word, it will. Hopefully. With that, I thank you all. I wish you a great day and a great rest of your week. And as always, do yourself a favor. Enjoy your brew. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor, do that subscribe thing, do the like and share thing. Hit that random YouTuber of the day. I never know who it's going to be ahead of time because I just randomly choose somebody while I'm looking at my list. With that, time for the questions. Of course, Sharknado 2 coming out to... Is it Thursday or Wednesday? I might be wrong and it might be airing tonight. I might be wrong. It's probably airing tonight and I just keep... I'm tired. It's kind of still Tuesday for me. So, check your local listing. Sharknado 2 is out this week. There, I'll make it easy. But let me know in the comments if you're interested. I love the first one. As cheesy and as bad as it is, I still was very entertained by the horrible, horrible movie. And got my poster signed, and I'm happy for that. And I've got my Sharknado Funko up there, and I love it. And I just, honestly, I like it. I love a good cheesy horror movie. And I'm looking forward to this one, and I hope for another one later on. Maybe Sharknado 3, the one after the last one. You owe me credit for that. So, let me know in the comments what you think. Second Simpsons Guy trailer out. Let me know what you think of that. Are you excited? Are you looking forward to it? Or you just don't care? Let me know in the comment section. And of course, last but not least, the 9/11 controversy with TMNT. Is it justified? Is it something that we should still be sensitive about, or is it something that really we need to learn to let it go, but never forget? That's the lesson. We should never forget, but we need to let go of the emotional trauma and pain and be strong about it and move forward. Or am I just wrong and you hate me for it? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, from the bottom of my heart, take care.